Well, hello, YouTube, friends, and family. So, as you saw my post today, if some of you saw that, you would know that this video was going to eventually occur. I'm trying to be quiet because I'm at home. Family in bed, kids in bed, wife in bed. So, I wanted to show you that when researching these purchases, you really have to be exhaustive, and you have to uncover the best way you can the things that they don't readily tell you. And I'm about to show you how this goes because there's information that a lot of information is left out. Some companies answer the phone, and a lot of them don't. Some answer the messages, a lot of them don't. Some will send you an email of their program and information. Some of them won't. So it's hit or miss, trial and error with this. And I want to show you how thorough I was. So I'm going to turn this camera around. What you're going to see is a Excel spreadsheet of 22 companies going vertically down, and then deductions going across the top of the screen. I'll show you how I laid it out. So here you go. As you can see right here, you can see some of the companies that I was looking at. So, and up here are the deductions going across. You can see how that goes in their columns, going all the way across, which are several of them. And as you can see, I was filling them in. There are those. I'm going to talk about some of these, okay, just to fill you in. Now, you may have seen the very first company I have in here. They're not in any particular order as far as my preference is concerned. So I'm going to start with MN89 out of Chicago, or Lamont, or something like that. They want 80% of the. They give you 80% of the growth. The first, well, they have a fixed deduction of $1,200, but the first 6 weeks you'll pay $1,700 because you're paying an escrow, and then the last after 6 weeks, for the next 4 weeks after that, you'll pay $1,450, and that's all inclusive. That's a fixed rate. Maintenance is separate, and your tolls is separate, and obviously your fuel separate. So it's not a bad deal. But it is a company in Chicago. A lot of them are those like Russian-esque type companies from like Southeastern European, like Croatia or Bosnia or some Russian type companies. It's no prejudice to them. It's just who they are, and I'm trying to give you guys a good description. So I might be a little ignorant about that. Then you got GT Express Inc. GT Express Inc. requires you to be a company driver. They don't answer the phone, and they weren't answering the messages on their Facebook, but they're posting Facebook posts all the time and then not responding. Paramount Freight Systems. Same thing. Said they send you an email. You don't get it. Not even in my spam or junk box. Then they don't answer phone calls. Whatever. Logiflex. Logiflex. Another Chicago company. Same thing with them. Dart Transit, who I talked to. Recruiter named Ricky called me. A friend of mine works for them. He loves it there. He's doing very well there. Probably the top driver there, as far as I know. And they have very low deductions, very small truck payment. It's very reasonable. However, your take home is not as lucrative as some of the other ones. It's about like anywhere from $1,800 maybe to $2,400 or so, until you can book your own loads, because they do have that there, but you'll be put on the waiting list for a few months. But as far as deduction goes, Dart probably has the least out of all these companies, by about, I don't know, $300-$400, at the least. So A to B cargo, another thing, not answering phone calls or text messages. So I couldn't get no information on them. A2B, which is a letter A, number 2, letter B, cargo, Archer Holding Group. I was very disappointed in this group here. You do get 88% of the gross, but they tax you to death. Mega Prime, same thing, couldn't get a hold of them. JDM Expedited Inc. Has a $1,400 fixed deduction, and then maintenance is 15 cents a mile, but then you also pay for your tolls and all those other expenses like fuel. Not a bad deal, but you're going to be on a long lease, and the trucks you're going to be limited as far as the truck is concerned. Compass United, your truck payment is going to be $1,000 a week, excuse me. This is pretty hefty, so I'm going to give this to you. So your truck payment's $1,000. Your cargo liability is $367. Your trailer rental is $175. Your maintenance is going to be 12 cents a mile. Your escrow is going to be $250 for 10 weeks. Your truck insurance is $177.62. Now, here is something very interesting. They charge you 10 cents a mile additional on top of the truck payment. They call it a truck rental miles. You pay 10 cents a mile. So if you are a runner and you run 3,000 miles in a week, you will pay an additional $300 towards your, well, I don't know if it goes towards the truck, but it says truck rental miles. That is, I think it's underhanded, truthfully. So those are big deductions. That's a lot right there. HDM, you'll have a $750 truck payment. It's a 5-year lease, and you have to drive for them for anywhere from 45 days to 90 days. Kerrigan Transportation, they have very small truck payments. This one I have here is $375. Your cargo liability is $113. But the thing about here for Kerrigan is, you're going to get small gross, small take home. You're not going to make much money here. The recruiting company, it's weird they call it this. So there's another company I don't answer stuff. Warren Transport, same thing. Hill Transportation, same thing. Wider Group, talk to them. Well, the Wider Group typically has Freightliners and internationals. Once in a while, they'll have something different. It's not all that common. They have pretty hefty truck payments. And here's the thing. They would not send me an email. They wanted to tell me everything over the phone. They would not send me an email. All right. 22 Century Trucking. That's XX11. Century Trucking. This is a very interesting company. Actually, it's one of a kind. And I'm going to tell you why. First off, their dispatchers are paid on the percentage you haul in. So you get 85% of the load, which leaves 15%, and then the dispatcher gets 10% of that, I think. I've never heard of this. So it's in the dispatcher's best interest to have your best interest at heart, because you actually make the money that pays the dispatcher. That's very interesting. Truck payment, it depends. This one is $850. Okay, let's go over cargo insurance, $225. IFTA is $25 a week. Registration is $200. Occupational insurance is $37. Trailer rental is $275. Your $22.90 is $100. Escrow is $100 for like 10 weeks, or it might be longer than that. And then your truck insurance is $113. Now, here's what's very interesting about this company, other than what I told you. First of all, there's a $2,500 deposit for the truck. Okay. And another interesting thing about this company, if you're coming to this company and they don't have a truck you like, and you see a truck that you like and it's at fair market value, they will buy it for you and lease it to you. Okay, they'll actually go out and buy the truck for you, and they've demonstrated that already. So that's very interesting. They have a very high gross and a very high net money in your pocket. So the deductions as you see them, they're like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It comes out, their deductions come out to almost $2,000 for about 10 weeks, and then it drops off because of all the expenses are only, once they're paid up, then those drop off too. So eventually it'll go down to about $1,400 or so. But you're going to bring in anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. Just depends on how well you do your business. Okay, it's very high net, very high gross. They're doing very well. Amero Lines Llc, Amero Line. That's another company in Chicago, run of the mill. They have nothing but Freightliners. You're going to pay, I think it's $700 a week for the truck. Then you got all your expenses. I have seen some settlements, whether they've been doctored or not, I can't tell you. It looks like they do pretty good. But again, it is one of those companies, foreign owners, not saying anything bad about them. I've worked for foreign owners at BBK Group, and they treated me pretty well. So, not a whole lot. They're running the mill, but they are bringing in about $3 a mile or more. So then you got Two Brothers Freight, which is also four-way, it's four-way, I believe. And they have a heftier payment of $900. I think their trucks are just about brand new almost. So their cargo insurance is $250. Then the registration is $60 a week. ELD is $30. A trailer rental fee is $300. I think this is a reefer. I'm pretty sure it is. 10 cents a mile for maintenance. Your truck insurance is $100 a week. And then your pre-pass, is they're going to charge you $25 a week for that also. Okay. They have a very interesting rider policy. Children of any age can ride at this company. Very interesting. I really like that because I have a 6.5-year-old son, so and a 13-year-old daughter. So it made me think. You know, they have a few different types of trucks, whatever they have, Pete's, K-Dubs, Freightliners, things like that. Okay, Afc Transport is a flatbed company, mostly step deck, things like that. You have 2 payments, depending on the truck, $875 or $775. The cargo insurance is $150. Your IFTA is 2 cents a mile. Your registration is $65. ELD is $25. And included with that is your plates. Your occupational insurance is $50. Your maintenance is $150 a week. I don't think there's a cap on that. Your $22.90 is $15 a week, and then you have an escrow of $250, I think, for like 10 weeks. Okay. Not too bad at all. Like I said, it is flatbed. Okay, now what I believe is probably one of the worst companies on here is the last one I'm about to tell you about. It's called Focus Freight. FOCUS Freight. Focus Freight. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. They told me, now they actually called me finally after 3 days, called me, and that was today. And they said they had 1 truck left. It's a 2016 Peterbilt 579 and had over 600,000 miles on it. Now, that's not too alarming. They said everything has been fixed on it. It's in perfect working condition. My problem is their evaluation on the truck. The evaluation of the truck is $101,000. Okay. So that's a 3-year lease. So do the math. So, and you'll get what they're talking about. That is outrageously expensive. Think about it. A 2016 579 with over 600,000 miles on it is they have it evaluated at $101,000. A truck like that at an auction, or even at a truck lot, is probably going to run you about 35 grand, 30 grand because of the miles and stuff like that. You know, it's very expensive. So this is why you need to know the market value of trucks. They are based on condition. They are based on miles. Okay. And also according to year. So a 2016 579 Peterbilt with over 600,000 miles on it. Here is outrageous, but drivers go for this. And what they do, they don't never last at companies like this, because eventually they're going to become jaded with the price of this truck. They're going to see that finally come to terms. People are going to tell them, like, wow, that's expensive, and you know, it's going to eat away at them. Eventually they're going to bring this up, and the company's not going to budge on it. They're going to quit. Okay, so it's better to understand the market and the trucks. Know your equipment is extremely important. You know, knowing your equipment is extremely important. Know the company is extremely important. So you've seen the research I've done. I made so many phone calls. I made text message after text message through Messenger, all these companies. I was on their websites. I was on their Facebooks looking up reviews, and I mean, some of them got skating reviews and things like that. I even looked up Swift. I actually talked to Swift. They wouldn't send me an email. They wanted to tell me everything over the phone. You're not going to make much money at Swift. You might already know that. And they're going to run you to death. So if you decide to take the freight, it is it's non-forced dispatch. So I think One of the companies I liked, and here's why, was Dart Transit. And the reason why I like Dart Transit so much, because if you can go there, if you can go to Dart Transit and stick it out for those months you're going to be dispatched through a dispatcher, going over loads with him and accepting certain loads here and there. And if you're good at, if you're cool with a take home of $2,000, now remember you have to pay taxes on all this stuff. If you're good with that take home of $2,000, maybe not even that, maybe 1,800, maybe even more than that, maybe say 2,500 at the very most, and you can hold out on that for a while, then maybe it's worth staying there to get to the load boards if you know how to book your loads properly. Sorry, my glasses are giving away a lot of light from my computer monitor. So, but anyways, that would be very lucrative, and the deductions are very minimal. I think they're probably the lowest you're going to find out of any company. We're talking about truck payments as low as $150 a week, guys. $150 a week for a truck payment. Think about this. If you're making great money there, who's to say you can't pay this truck off in a year just by doubling your payment? Heck, how about tripling? You're still going to be paying $450 a week. That's still very low. Lower than the average company out here by a long shot. So you have a very good opportunity of buying a truck from Dart, and it's actually been done. I have a friend out of Georgia who's bought a truck from Dart, and he started his own authority, and now he has 3 trucks he's running, and he finally bought himself a long nose Pete. He took the K-Dub he bought from Dart, he put a team in it, and he put someone else in another truck he has. So, and he's on his own authority. So, and he did that through Dart. So I just want you guys to understand that research is extremely important on every level in this industry. Now, my consideration for all of this was to figure out the company I was going to choose for myself. Now, these are not the only companies I've vetted. There's actually quite a few more that I did not put on here because it would have been so much information. This video would have been way too long. So I have chosen a company. I have applied. We have talked. And so they have all my information and stuff like that, and all that went through today. So when this adventure begins, I will then post videos on it so you can see the transition, and what happened and stuff like that. And I will let you eventually know where I'm at and who I'm with when the time comes. But for now, this video is about doing the requisite research, and the amount of research. It's the phone calls, it's the online searches, it's the emails. What I tell these people is I don't really want to talk to you. I just want you to send me the information so I can view it myself without a salesman trying to sell it to me. I don't need a salesman. I can look at the information and disseminate it myself. All right. But that requires you looking up trucks, looking at market values and things of that nature, looking up current rates and stuff to see where these people are at. Are they trying to just use you to make money at the same time paying their overhead, or are they interested in a business partner? That's another thing you got to look at. Don't just jump into anything. So with that, I'm going to bid all you guys a good night. It's late here I'm at. And I hope this video has been informative. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell on here so you get notifications when I post videos like this, so you receive this information and become informed. When you are informed, you are capable of making an informed and intelligent decision. And therefore, you cannot be coerced, you cannot be duped or tricked. Okay, when you have all the appropriate information, it helps you to make an intelligent decision. Okay, so with that, good night. I love all you people. And my computer monitor just turned off. That's kind of creepy. Deuces.